controllers, listen up. Give me a go, no go for launch. Booster.
Go.
Retro.
Go.
Vital.
We go fly.
Guidance.
Guidance go.
Procedures.
Go.
Inco.
Go.
FAO.
We are go.
Capcom.
We're go fly.
Launch control, this is Houston. We are go for launch.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's entertainment.
What's going on, people? Sorry about that delay there. For some reason, we kept logging in. It just did not want to let us on. So go figure. Howdy, howdy ho, guys. What's going on tonight?
Same old, same old.
For real.
What's up?
Living dreams every day. I don't know why the thing always seems to give us some issues. It's like it was all pre-planned and kept logging into it, and it just didn't want to happen for some reason.
The Mother's Day curse.
Yep, it probably is. Well, one of those mothers out there. It's got to be one of their faults. So, welcome everyone. Thanks for switching back over to us. Sorry about the delay there. Got 22 people and growing. So, yeah, we got some of our guys out there. Awesome. There they are. Eddie and Detecting Arizona and Greg and Adrian and James and all you guys. Thanks for stopping back in. So we was just talking about all kinds of exciting new toys and gizmos and gadgets and things like that. So you guys missed all that. So that's about it. Wrap it up.
Thanks, Eddie.
No, I'm just kidding. So we're good to go. Ryan, did you do anything this weekend?
Oh, just
You just did
the
something.
normal stuff. It was cold and rainy all weekend, so
We lost
just edited
Steve.
some videos and hung out with the family. Soccer
Cool.
game was canceled today, though. That's good.
Is it
Darn.
raining there?
Yeah, it's cold. It's in the
Yeah.
30s and it's raining.
Yeah,
It's
we had
misery.
rain
It did
all
not
day.
stop all day.
Yeah, sucks. Yesterday was nice, but I had to
Uh-huh.
mow. Got the mowing done, and then we went and did something else, and yeah, it just, I don't know what happened. Where's Steve-O, man? He disappeared. I don't know if he had a bad connection or what. I'm sure he'll be back here shortly.
Yeah, I got my mowing done the end of last week because I knew it was coming, and I'm happy I did.
Yeah. I mean, well, you just got a little lot, don't you?
It's less than an acre, but it's it's nothing
almost a
huge.
lot, or almost an acre in town.
Yep.
That's quite a bit for in town.
Yeah, it's not bad.
More to mow. I'm kind of like one of them things where, like, I got 3 1/4 acres, and I'm like, when I was a kid, I thought, just the way I grew up, I had always that, and it was like, yeah, I just gotta have the same thing again.
You need to flip-flop us down there because he's pretending to be us and vice versa on there.
Well, if I could get my mouse to show up, I don't even know what's going on with it. There we go. I don't know how we're supposed to do that.
Remember, you just move him over. Drag him.
No.
Be
Oh,
gentle.
on screen.
Yes, there you go.
There we go.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Got it. Game on. But yeah,
Oh man.
I don't know. Wouldn't be a party without, something going wrong. So I don't know where old Steve-O went. He logged back in, Steve-O. You gotta
He
log
said
back
in the
in.
chat, not sure what happened there. I thought he was taking a real long drink of that beer.
Evidently. Come back, Steve. We'll give him some second there. But yeah, it's just it was one of them weeks, man. It went fast. I mean, it was like boom, here's the weekend, boom, it's over. Now it's time to
Yep.
go back. And I'm like,
Oh yeah.
I'm not ready for it at all. Not at all.
I was watching that new video you just put out right before we got on. The low profile evaporator.
It sucked.
But the video was good.
I don't know. They both sucked. The video sucked, and so did the profile thing. Man, that thing, I hate them. It's hard to get airflow in a certain direction, and because it throws it everywhere.
Yep.
And I had the same issue on. It was several videos back. I mean, it was probably like a year ago, and it was a very similar situation. I ended up putting a remote bulb, and I've seen a lot of our guys mount them down on the the grill of the cooler, which looks kind of crappy, but You know, it always seems to work in those beer coolers because usually it's low ceilings. That's why they got it. But that cooler there, it just, man, it was just a dead spots in there. And then it's like, how long has that been in there? And it never got cleaned up. And there's stories behind it, but you can't always go into all of it. So it's like, yeah.
Sure.
I
You had
don't
like
know.
3 or 4 different thermometers with different temperatures on all of them.
Well, you know,
That's
I know
awkward.
my two are pretty close, but that Atkins one, I checked it, it was within a degree, and that was theirs. And usually them things are pretty dead balls on, but I don't know. You could see that there were so many things off, and it's like, and then I couldn't get a hold of the maintenance guy until I already did all those things I did, and I finally got a hold of him. It's like, I had one earlier this week at a school on the walk-in freezer. They said it's freezing up. So you're thinking freezing the coil. No, they're talking about freezing up the line set. And it's like, well, yeah, you got 3/8 insulation on it. What do you think's going to happen? Well, never did it before. Yep. How long has it been in? Since 03. It's like, well, you're low on refrigerant too. You know, and it sent me on a goose chase. And I'm like doing all this freaking maintenance crap because, you know, the coils are smashed. They're dirty. The superheat's wrong. I mean, it's all this crap. And it's like, all you're doing is going through and starting it like the other company didn't do that they should have done that underbidded us that got the job way back long ago. And I'm like, yeah, how much energy did you lose running at, you know, 28 degree or whatever superheat that you had? So it's kind of weird because I'm still trying to philosophize how you know, getting the correct superheat made the line more accurate, because you would think that you would have had flood back, and it wasn't. It was like, I don't know, it was high 30s if I remember right. And when I finally got it set right, then everything seemed to be right. And I told him, I said, you know, you can insulate it, which would be the right way to do it, but we're, you know, why don't you go ahead and save your money and try this first? I said, it's definitely working the way it should now. I got like between 6 and 8, and we were within 5 degrees, 7 degrees of the box temp. And I'm like, we should be good to go. I don't know where Steve's at, man. We're going to text him or something. Maybe he got lost or abducted.
He probably had to go do something.
I doubt it. You never know, though.
I had we have a couple restaurant accounts. So Friday I had a true reach in with the open top. They keep all the different ingredients up there. And,
I know what he's doing.
I need to go poopy.
That's probably what he's doing.
Welcome back.
Stop talking about me. I can hear y'all.
Oh,
Jeez.
flip them.
Huh?
Flip them. Flip Hughesman and Steve. Nope. Go up there. There you go. There you go.
Sorry about that, guys.
That's
We had
all right.
technical
Nope.
difficulties on my end.
Flip Steve and us. See? Look.
Oh, I'll be next.
How's it correct on ours, but not on that one? That's
Yeah.
Oh, I know what's going on now. Got
Thank you.
Come again. Crazy stuff going on. Crazy town.
We do
town.
have that.
I was
crazy-
halfway listening while I was trying to fix my problems here.
You were pooping, weren't you?
Yeah, I had to poop. Sorry.
You could have taken us to
Sorry.
the bathroom with you.
Yeah, that'd been great. Live show from the bathroom.
Well, it's no
My
worse
desktop. I'm not sure I could do that. Be kind of
Steve plays plumber. Your wife could have held the phone up there. You guys could have FaceTime, held it up to the camera, you know, and
than you could have been like eyes up here.
you're looking down. I can see it. So I've been interesting stuff. What have you been up to, Steve? Man, it's like we never even got started, and you like disappeared. Like, hell with this. I'm out of here.
Yeah, no. The same old, man. Just enjoying my weekend off, ready to go back and get into it. I just got done with my 130-hour PM, and so I'm ready to do something else. I've been in the same place way too long.
I wouldn't like that at all. I'm going to do one of those
Yeah.
tomorrow. I've got one of the guys, I'm going to show him where everything's at. There's a total of, I think, 18 geothermals. 8 or so of them, or 10 of them are above the ceiling. The other ones are up on the upper deck where they should have all been put at. And then he's got that big old makeup air geothermal unit to do, which that'll be the one that probably takes the most time. So I'm going to show him that, so it frees me up on some others, because that's a 30-hour PM.
So Pro C has a question in the chat for you three.
That's what I was going to write down.
So he wants you guys to discuss, like coffee talk, what you guys see on an RTU with the TXV restriction and your troubleshooting process. Discuss.
Take it away, Steve.
Yep, Steve's the master.
Yeah.
Apparently, you're it.
TXV restriction, you're going to see, and okay, I'm pulling this out of my ass, so tell me if I'm wrong. You're going to see
You're wrong.
higher than normal subcooling, I would assume. Your subcooling is going to go up because you're stacking liquid in the condenser. Just think of it logically. And your TXV is starving because it's not feeding correctly, whether it be the bulb's bad or there's something gunked up in the screen or whatever. Your superheat's going to be high.
Yep. Suction pressure. Superheat's going to be, or suction pressure is going to be low. You're probably going to have frosting at it. Not all of them have TXV. Some of them have those fixed orifices on each individual, like little distributors. Those are kind of a pain in the butt.
Those are basically the same deal. We see a lot of those here. Honestly, y'all probably see the same stuff, but I don't know how much refrigerant I've pulled out of some of those fixed orifice systems. It's like you can tell something's not right, and it's half-ass cooling. You got a 10, 15 degree temperature drop, and your pressures are just weird, and nothing looks right. And it's like this thing's been overcharged by a lot. I've pulled 30 pounds over what some of those things should have been charged. That the one gauge bandit was just trying to get their suction pressure up.
Sure.
Yep.
Sure.
That's why I said in my one video, always check the high side, because I screwed up. Check suction, thought it was low, and I forget, I think either it was valved off or the solenoid didn't open or whatever, and my dumb butt dumped some nitrogen in there to get started, and I contaminated the system. So stupid me. But I would say the only other last thing on that TXV thing, I mean, I start pulling some out, weigh it out, and see if it starts making a difference. Does everything start to fall together? Worst case scenario, you can always pull it out and weigh it back in, but it's all the normal things.
Most of the time, at least in our area, especially if it's one of our contract customers that we're there all the time, it would be different. But if it's somewhere we've not been, you can kind of figure, everybody's had their hands on this thing, and somebody did something stupid.
Yeah. There's one down there, Greg said.
Yeah, there was another comment earlier up. So John Mendoza asked about your favorite brand of ultrasonic leak detector. I guess I didn't know there was more than one brand of ultrasonic leak detectors.
There's about 4 of them. You've got the Superior AccuTrack, which I think technically is the best one out there. Infocon's got one, the Whisper. Amp Probe's got one. I forget what it's called. And then there's a no-namer out there. Now, AccuTrack makes the same one for back rack, and I think Robinair they also made it for Robinair. You can tell it's the same freaking one, but those are the main brands. I haven't tried the Amp Probe. I've heard kind of mixed feelings on it. Amp Probe's weird. They got some stuff that's cheap, and they got some stuff that's ridiculously priced. And so I don't know. Some people claim it's great. The Whisper works, but it's not as quiet as what my Superior is, but it's a lot cheaper too. $230 versus $450. So
enough places to use it. I mean, I don't know.
You got to use it a lot, and that's why, I'm waiting to hear back from the guy that bought mine, because if he just tries to grab it and just go out and use it and instantly use it, it's not going. You're going to hate it. You've got to learn how to get around all the false alarms.
Yeah, I've used them. I've used them before, and I know. I mean, it takes some practice because you're listening for the leak.
Certain things that aren't normal.
Yeah, I mean, you're listening for the unusual, but there's so much noise around half the stuff we do. It's like, even the other day, I found a leak on a condenser with my ear, but I had to turn the unit next to me off and then the exhaust fan behind me off. So, because I had outside noise and I couldn't tell where. I could hear something, but I couldn't tell where it was coming from.
See, I could have probably heard it no problem. Like, it's just like say Ryan starts going la. I could talk while he's doing a solid note, and you'd still be able to make out what I'm saying. It's the same thing with the leak, because the leak may be or whatever, and then the noise that you're hearing that's interfering with you could be a rear, or it could be a My phone screws with it quite a bit. It's amazing. Every time it starts to transmit, you can hear it go, and it does all kinds of weird crap. And like, I got to get it away from me, at least 4 foot away, or you'll pick up the phone doing some weird crap.
Sound like you're gonna push out a turd.
Well, you never know. I'm animatronic.
Animated.
That's what he sounds like in the bathroom.
Oh, he pushes them out.
Something's wrong with that.
That's what he does in my car. Like, he waits till he gets in my car, and then he pushes out a fart. And it's like, really, you could have done that outside, bud.
It's a more comfortable position than standing up. So, but
You might
it takes
get that checked out.
It takes
Yeah,
a lot
I've had
of
good.
practice.
I've had good experience with the HVACR. I found a lot of leaks with it. I had the Whisper. It was company issued to me from my last company, and I never had a whole lot of good things. I couldn't find anything with that, but that AccuTrack's pretty slick. If I'll find a leak with my H10 or just with soap bubbles, and I'll just pull the thing out just to
hear it.
just to sweep it and see how it sounds. But
That's a good idea.
I'm primarily just up on roofs, so it's mostly wind that's affecting me. But yeah, that AccuTrack, I mean, it's an old one. It's the original, no gooseneck or anything on it, but
It's the OG.
it's the OG. Yeah, I've
See,
had
wind don't
good luck
bother
with
me
it.
on mine. Now, if you have a lot of fans running, that can cause a weird noise, but I can still hear it separate
So-
of it.
What would happen
It's a
if you
different-
put a dead bird on it? Like, you know what you would do
Oh,
with, like, on
but-
a microphone?
Yeah, I don't.
that help?
It's a dead cat.
I thought they were dead birds.
No, it's a dead cat.
Okay. Well, what if you put a dead cat on it?
I don't have any problems.
But if you
Even though
did-
it's Gen 3 and the one the one I had before was a Gen 3, I still think the gooseneck one had a little bit better filtering in it.
Sensitivity?
Filtering, I would call it, because they're using EQing to block frequencies above and below the spectrum of the leak range. And so, I mean, like, I can, like, okay, for example, like when I took the picture, because I sold it on Facebook Marketplace, my standard one. And when I took a picture of it, it was almost pegged out because I have those pest things in the house that makes ultrasonic noise. And they work. So when I go into a house, I know exactly what they sound like. It's a weird noise. There's some that go real high pitched, there's some low pitched ones. But if that's on, it will screw with you. I can still hear the leak, but it'll screw with you. I'll hear this. But you know what? I'm not getting no mice in my garage. So I don't know if they hear it. The dogs don't seem to mind. It's right above their bed. So it's kind of weird.
I bought a mechanic stethoscope, and it's just got a little rod on the end of it, and you can put it on. I bought it for steam traps and check valves and stuff like that, and it's pretty cool. I mean, I've been kind of using it periodically just to hear what things sound like. Normal operation, shut off,
Sure.
Whatever. Kind of the same deal, but just
The AccuTrack comes with mine does. It comes with a metal rod that
you
stick
can
in the
use.
end. You could
It
touch
worked good too.
I haven't used that.
They don't make it for the gooseneck though, unfortunately. Shannon's got one. He made a video of it. His is actually featured on their website too.
And John asked if you fart, does it pick it up real loud? I think
No, but my combustion analyzer did. I was
Oh,
working
yeah.
on a R290 unit, and I ripped one loose, quietly. All of a sudden, whee! It went nuts. But I was going to ask Shannon a question because he's big. That's what it was. Shannon, have you noticed on like flare fitting leaks, you can't hear anything because it just doesn't have the disturbance that you would have with a hole in
there's
the
not a
or a
disturbance
crack.
within the force.
You're distracting me.
There's not a disturbance within the force.
It could be, but yeah, it's. I noticed like on flares and stuff like that, it won't pick up leaks. They don't work on everything. It cannot replace a sniffer for everything. But
flares are rough areas sometimes, anyways, for whether bubbles or electronic. It doesn't really matter.
Well, if you noticed on the video that I released, I didn't show the leak detector because I didn't put enough refrigerant in, and so because I sent the full video to Infocon, I said, hey, I was having problems picking up the leak. What's going on here? And they think that I didn't put enough refrigerant in there, or it could just been because it was like really freaking cold out. What's up, Teddy? And But you know, when you're talking a leak that's completely flat like that, you're going to find it quick. I love it for outdoors leaks up in the or up on the condensers and stuff, or even evaporators if it's up on the roof. But if you're in a kitchen where they're clanging utensils, that sucks. It don't work very good at
Now,
all.
would you recommend the gooseneck version over the little short stubby one?
I like it more, but it's a lot more money because I mean you can get the one for $450 and the gooseneck I think starts at $550 I think and up. So that's $150 more just for a microphone to be a little longer. That's a lot of money. I mean,
has that been beneficial? Like, have you used the gooseneck?
I use it on special occasions. I don't use it on all of them.
Yeah, Ted's in the house. He's got a nice building coming. I saw a video on the other day.
Yep.
What's that?
Nice new building. Nice new building for Ted.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
We got a video up. Go check it out.
I'll have to.
Part one of a couple part series, but it looks nice. Doing a lot of work.
Yeah, cool. So for a home or for the shop?
No, for his shop, I believe.
Yep.
Sweet. Got to spend that money.
Yeah.
Yeah, John Mendoza. I actually sold the one. I sold it for like $300. That thing was in mint condition. It's been sitting on my shelf in my bedroom, and it's like no reason to carry two of them, and it's been sitting there forever. And it's like finally I just said, screw it, I'm gonna sell it. It's not doing me no good sitting here, and I don't need two of them. Soap bubbles. I mean, it's funny, you know, you spend all this money on them, and no matter what, you always double check it with soap at the end. But you know, I mean, I got a $550 freaking H10.
Ears.
Yeah, I'm still squirting it down with some freaking soap. You know, it's like, but it got you there.
So there was another question like further up that we missed. Mr. Green wants to know, do you guys have any tips on how to drain a secondary drain pan faster? And that could be a commercial or a resi unit.
I got a cool little hand pump. There's one that looks like an oil grease gun that has a suction plunger on it. And then my baddest ass one is this plumber's pump. Basically, it's blue and it's about yay big around. It's like a 3-inch PVC type plastic. And you suck up on it, and it has check valve going in and check valve going out, and it will. I mean, you could pump 5 gallons in like probably 40 seconds, 50 seconds. That thing, I mean, it just shoots it out.
I've used a wet dry vac.
That works too.
For the long hose.
Some of the big ones can suck because you get so much water in them. I mean, there's no good way to do it, but along what you were saying, Rick, I've got small, like a pool pump that I'll put on top of my cover in the winter and pump water off. You can use something small like that, and you're talking, it weighs a couple pounds, it might be that big, and you can chuck that in a pan and pump everything out real quick.
Yeah. Or I've got my little booster pump. It's 120 volt. You got it. The only hard thing about it is getting it primed. Once it's primed, I mean, it gives me 50 pounds, 60 pounds of pressure, and so I can suck water out of a bucket and have better than garden hose pressure. I think it's pretty badass. I
mean, we got the master in the house here. Ted said he's got the Milwaukee transfer pump.
Yep. Apparently he's very skilled with that.
He said he runs that down the main drain as he's pumping the auxiliary out and cleans the main drain out. Makes sense.
Yep.
Chris said he bought one for something to boost the water pressure, and he said didn't do very good on that. So I don't know if it'd just be good for like sucking out basic water or what, because it's like $140, $150 or more, or maybe it was 180.
Yeah.
Which I've been looking to buy something. So.
I mean, when you got money to burn, you know.
Bill's
curious
out
guy
there.
in the house,
Yep,
too.
the curious Bill dude. Yeah, you got to unplug the primary. Yeah.
So we got everybody in the house here. The question I asked you all earlier, I told you not to answer. Maybe we get Laura's opinion first, because you see the trade, but you're not necessarily in the trade. But what do you think is the best or a good trait for a service technician?
Like a physical trait, like a mental trait.
A physical, a mental trait. I mean, there's 1,000 different answers, and there's no one right answer. I'm just curious what everybody thinks, and we got a bunch of curious and smart Ted guys in the house here that we might get some good info from. What do they think?
Well, I think, it doesn't have to be necessarily HVAC related. I feel like this is just in general. I mean, you need to have someone that's motivated. Did you write down answers?
I want to see if you say what I said, 'cause I thought of one that was actually pretty good.
And I was playing the dating game.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, you just want someone that's, someone that's motivated, not lazy, that's going to take initiative. That someone that's, not afraid to ask questions, but also someone that can think outside the box. I mean, the biggest problem that we're seeing is, I mean, it's hard for us, even in the medical field, just in labor and delivery. We don't look specifically for nurses that have labor and delivery experience. Would it be great? Absolutely. But, we can teach someone that. The biggest thing is trying to find people that can even do a decent interview in this area. That's the biggest. I mean, that's huge. That's a hard problem. And even finding people that want to work, that's another issue.
Honestly, we find the same thing. That it's different, completely different area, different field, but the same. We do. We have the same issues.
Nobody wants to work. And one thing that we've kind of decided that we are going to try no longer to hire anybody that's in their 20s unless they really knock our socks off, because they don't have that maturity that we're looking for. Because people that we've hired that are younger, like I said, we can train them.
You're going to hit on a nerve with all these young guys that complain that, well, how do I get hired when they want 5 years experience and nobody will hire me?
And it does for us. It, like I have already said, Rick, we don't care if you have labor and delivery experience at all, because we can train you. We can mold you and train you, and we can teach you from scratch. And sometimes that's even better because you're not set in your ways, and we can kind of mold you the way we want you. But the thing is if you are a younger person, if you're in your 20s, you need to be one of those people that is going to take every opportunity. Like, one of the biggest issues we have is if you are in orientation, and even if it's not your patient, but if a more experienced nurse gets up to go do something, you need to ask them, be like, oh, hey, well, can I go with you? Don't just sit there on your butt in the nurse's station, on your phone, on Facebook, or playing a game on your phone. Get your ass up. Go with that experienced nurse. Go with that charge nurse to take that triage. Learn something. Take the initiative. Because you're not going to sit and learn anything when you're sitting there, on your phone, on Facebook.
I've run after hours calls when I was younger, I would go, you need help? Well, I do, but I could probably use a hand, but we can't pay you to do it. It is what it is. The customer doesn't want to pay two guys to do something one guy can do. And I'm like, I got you. I'll go help. You don't got to pay me. I'm going to learn something.
And that's, yeah, exactly. And that's huge. And it's just, I hate saying this because it makes me sound old, but and I remember people saying this about young people when I was young, about how lazy we are, but it's getting worse. Come on, people.
But it's who raised them?
Well, there's that too.
I thought of one.
Hey, Steve, I would say that being mechanically inclined, for one, is good, and two, being humble.
No doubt.
Being humble, because you're going to run into stuff that you don't know, and maybe that you messed up, and being able to accept it and learn.
Take responsibility.
And a little bit to go along with that, the first thing I thought of was just being comfortable not knowing.
Absolutely.
Especially on the commercial side, walking into every situation, you're not necessarily going to know exactly what's going on. You're not necessarily going to have the whole story. You're not necessarily going to know how the equipment is supposed to work. You have to be comfortable with that, and still be confident with the customer and say, I got you. Just relax. We're going to fix this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because one of the things I said was people skills and dependability. Because if you don't show up, you're no good either way. And people skills, I mean, how many times the guy was kind of didn't do the greatest job, but man, he's so likable. We had one guy, he was just really good with people. And it's you wouldn't think it'd take that much, but I mean, when I go do a residential or something, hey there, how are you today? What's going on? So you're having some problems with the furnace? Is it just started? And just get the basic things going. So, and just getting the conversation going with them. And if you're like feeling pleasant, and easy, it makes them feel comfortable because, how many times do they not have, they may not ever have anybody in their house. They may have somebody work on their car, but it's at their shop, not in their house. You're a guest in their house type thing. So it's like, you got to make the customer feel comfortable. And even, same thing with whether it's commercial or not, find that supervisor or that manager or whatever. But those are some of but mechanical skills is a big thing too. Because if they have no ability, but you can usually train most people if they are critical thinkers.
You can teach someone to
critical thinking is a little harder though.
It's hard. It is hard to teach some critical thinking. Because you do have those people that have no common sense but are extremely book smart. But if they can't apply the book smarts to the common sense part of it, then there's a huge disconnect, and that's not going to help you at all. But you can teach.
It's almost, you can teach.
You can teach a lot of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, the people skills is almost harder to teach because if you just don't have it, you don't have it.
Yeah.
A lot of people look at me and my demeanor and the way I deal with the guys I work with, and I'm a little brash, and I can be in your face sometimes, and real amped up. And when I deal with the customers, they always joke that because the customers like me, they're like, "Why the hell do customers like you? You're an asshole."
So you're a faker. I worked with a guy like that. It was F this, F that, and was horrible to everyone else. And as soon as Mrs. Jones, how are you today? That's great to know. Oh, that's a beautiful dog you have there. It's like, what the hell?
To everybody.
It's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah, it was like flip of the switch. You mother. Hey, how you doing?
But you know what, though? Like, I call that playing the game because
it is.
You got to do that even with patients, because if you want that patient to feel like they are truly being cared for and that they, can trust in the care they're receiving.
Building confidence is very important.
You have to build confidence regardless of what field you work in.
Here it was like this week. I got my main guy said, "Hey, I heard you were over at this particular place, which was the one I ran on Sunday." And that guy was the engineer. He actually truly was an engineer, so he was pretty high up in the building, but he happened to be the one because the maintenance guys weren't there. And he talked to this guy that's kind of in charge at our place with the service side of things. He goes, "I heard you went out there." I said, "Yeah." He goes, "That guy's kind of hard to get along with. He had some pretty good things to say about you." I'm thinking, okay. And
you're like, is he being sarcastic?
I'm like, okay. He goes, "Well, he said you told him that you'd never been out there before." I said, "I didn't tell him that. I said I just hadn't worked on that particular unit." "Well, I ain't saying that's a bad thing. You just got to be careful what you say to them." And I'm thinking,
and people will pick and choose what they hear as well.
I'm like, well, that's not what I meant. I'm like, I said it was just big old freaking freezer with multiple heads on it. It wasn't nothing super special, but I had not been there.
I'm pretty clear on what I mean when I say it. They know what I'm talking about. They can.
Yeah,
I can be overbearing sometimes. I don't try to be rude to other people or anything crazy. I'm nice to the guys. We got a good group of guys and we all get along. But you got to know how to take me sometimes, because if I'm in the moment doing something, it's like I'm moving. I got to get it done. Let's go.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That was more how I was at the other place. Here, I've got almost every I'll just say everybody I'm with is equal to me or better than. So I don't. We don't have anybody that just plain sucks. So it's at least the people I work with in particular. So it's kind of nice to know that if someone else does have to go out there, it's going to be taken care of. Not a big deal. So I'm pretty lucky that way.
We got a good group of guys too. We got some young guys, some apprentices that I think are great.
Yeah.
I don't tell them that. Hopefully they're not watching.
No, I've seen some of your videos and some of the guys you got look good. We've got some good young guys too. Just a couple, but the technicians we have are a pretty tight knit group. We've got about 10 service technicians, and we're all fairly close. We all talk, and we'll randomly throughout a week get a call from one guy or another, or I'll call another guy just to BS for a minute and say, "Hey, how's it going? What are you doing? What are you into?"
Absolutely. Well, same way here.
We got that. I mean, I get investment help off the one guy. He got me to start investing big into my 401k, and thank goodness. I mean, because, you know, it's only been good from here on out so far. And we talk about dumb stuff in general, and, you know, we pretty much know each other's, you know, home life a little bit, but, you know, it's, but you still got to be somewhat guarded, because it never fails. That was one of the people that also didn't like me doing videos. So it's like, at the same time, it surprised me when I found he didn't like it either. And it's like, I felt ganged up on, you know, and it was one of them things where it's like, well, what the hell's your problem with it, dude? I'm like, he thought, well, I was making all this money on it. I'm like, dude, I'm lucky if I make 20 bucks on some of these videos. I'm not freaking getting rich here. It's not. At the amount of time I could go make 50 bucks an hour on overtime and do better than the freaking video is going to be. I'm like, it's not. I'm not retiring off this thing.
I have to do as much work, really. I mean, it's hard. That's what people don't understand. It's not easy to do.
I spent 4 freaking hours on that stupid video I did today, because I mean, it's not even just editing it. Then you got to go through and add the freaking title. Then you got to add the freaking little tags in between there and all that other crap. If you don't do it, then they won't try to shove you out there. And then they judge you in the first, you know, so many hours. If people ain't watching it, it all goes to crap. So you fall to the bottom. So,
I mean, I haven't. I'm not terribly concerned about all that. I've been throwing shit together. The service calls, what I found, are really easy. I can walk through a service call because I just basically turn the camera on and go through my natural brain process and exactly what I'm thinking. It's the PMs.
You just edit it that way.
Yeah, I mean, you edit it that way because you know where you're going. You're working towards an end goal. There's something real set and you know, a pattern to that. But when it comes to a PM, I film like I've been on a 130-hour PM. I had like an hour and a half of film, or just random stuff. Half of it didn't make sense, and then you're trying to scramble through all kinds of crap and make sense of it to make a decent video. And it's like,
I like making the repair videos.
No, yeah,
setting the camera up in different angles,
and just doing it.
You know, doing it, kind of flipping things around.
Or if you have an idea what it's probably already what the problem is, so you can be like the authority on it. But when you're just like finding it out just like everybody else, it's like, I wonder what this button does. You know, it's like, well, I wonder if this. I mean, because half the time you go through and it's like, okay, let's wash the condenser, wash the evaporator, make sure it's got proper airflow, make this blah 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 blah. You just did a PM. And then, you know, boom, as you're doing it, you found the loose wire nut, or you found whatever, or, you know, and half the time, like I even said in the thing, do I like doing it? Because I think some people think, well, why the hell do you do all this extra crap? It's like,
because you're a loser.
I am a loser. But, you know, it's one of them things where it's like, I want to make sure this piece of crap works when I leave and it don't quit. I got to make sure it works for at least 30 days or more. So, you know, it's one of them things where it's like, if it's working better than what it was, you know, great. I mean, I don't want to just find one thing. I usually find more you poke around, the more you find. And
that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know,
dig it.
That's your job.
You get to the root of the problem.
Yeah, that's what you're getting paid for.
Yeah.
Solve the problem, not just the symptom.
Yep.
Sure. Absolutely. Because nothing's worse than writing up this or that. And then it's not always me that goes back to make that repair. You know,
that sucks.
Or
we try to send the same guy back.
I mean, callbacks are a pain.
I'll go back on to make the repair and be like, you know,
dude, that wasn't bad.
You know, yeah.
Went ahead and changed it.
Taking your time, looking things over. It's kind of hard sometimes with the not to exceeds and whatnot. You know, but
I just dealt with that.
Or you could write up to return.
Look what James wrote, you guys.
Yeah,
more money to keep digging in.
Well, I mean, the last one I did was, I mean, it was, the unit could have ran. I could have made it run. This place called, it's really a case by case scenario. This place called in at 4:30, 5 o'clock on a Friday. You know, the air's out. Okay, so you know, I show up and I see a 12 to 15-year-old just package unit on the roof. It looks like crap. It's the duct's half-assed done. It's a side discharge, and it's like, okay, well, I've got a piece of junk here basically that hasn't been taken care of. And when I got into it, I had every intention of making it work, but then I'm finding it actually had a leak in the evaporator. One of the cap tubes had rubbed. Talking 10 pounds of R22 for a 12 to 15-year-old rooftop unit. I'm seeing electric heat relays that are burnt up wires and everything else, just a lot of other red flags, corroded main power wiring coming in and everything else. And it's like, dude, it's in everybody's best interest at this point for me to back up and punt and say, look, y'all need a repair versus replacement quote. I've got all the information. You've got a lot of issues. The condenser fan motor, because I bumped the contactor, compressor turned over. It sounded like capacitor was good, and the fan motor had a little bit of a squeal to it. So you could hear the fan motor bearings were going out too. And I'm like, it's not worth this for me to fix right now. I mean, I don't mind fixing it. And that's that's one of the good things about the not to exceed, is because if I'd went down to the customer and they said, look, fix it now, I'd have said, all right, whatever. And, if that's what you want me to do, I'll fix it. I would have, I would have voiced my opinion, but they would have spent a whole lot of money on a 12 to 15-year-old unit.
Oh yeah. We've repaired units that they insisted on repairing, and a couple months down the road, there's a whole new mess of issues.
Yeah.
Because you have that a lot, don't you, Ryan? A lot of rebuilds on stuff that just plain beat to heck and back.
Oh yeah. Well, a lot of these places, I don't know. I'll quote to repair or replace, or the company will. And it's really up to, who's writing the check.
Yeah, we're repair guys. I mean, I'm not an installer, so it don't matter to me. Fix it here or fix it there. It's the same crap either way. Now, like Chris said out there in California, that they've got all kinds of issues where if it's an existing unit, it's cheaper to fix it than it is to get a new one, because they have to get the permits and all kinds of things have to be updated, and all those sort of things drive the cost up. And then we got, I think even you didn't you say that you replace the draft motor, everything when you do a heat exchanger? I mean, everything gets replaced, so everything's like brand new. So the only thing then you guys is the refrigerant circuit.
Yep, we replace just about everything.
Because, we don't always replace the draft motor, but, it's kind of like, well, if you're going to try to squeeze another freaking 5 years out of this, why not, I guess. But
and I think that stemmed from, quoting just the heat exchanger and going out there and doing the work, and then finding that the draft motor's bad. And we're like, well, we couldn't just run down the street and get one. So
yeah, especially with the travel time you got.
We just do it all the limits, burners, flame sensor igniter, draft motor, the control
I like that.
board.
I probably should do the limits.
And a lot
too.
of people, I've gotten a lot of flack in my comments on the videos on, well, that didn't need replaced.
$75.
It might not have needed it, but it was still old, and you might as well. You know what I mean? And
the point is not to cut you off, but and I understand where you're going with it, and we don't always change the draft motors, but in my opinion, if you're in there, they're paying you a lot of money to fix this thing. And if you've got a $2 or a $5 rollout switch, why would you not replace it for it to become a problem a week later?
Yeah. And if it's a problem a week later, that we're eating it.
Yeah. I mean, because
we're paying the guy to go out there and the part and all that,
Exactly.
So that's just the way we do it. If we're replacing a heat exchanger, we're replacing the majority of the main components, and that's it. If they don't like it, well,
so I don't
know what to tell you.
Yeah, because I'm doing burners, igniters, but I think I'm gonna add the rollout and the other rollout, the one by the blower and the one above the burners. I should add that both to it.
Boy, I love those carrier heat exchangers.
Yeah, because that's what we do, a crap load of them.
Those carriers are real nice.
They're 2.5, 3 hours. You get it right out there.
Yeah.
I get that email in the morning. I'm like, where am I eating lunch today?
I didn't get a lunch till Friday, man. I've been busting ass down there trying to get something done.
Oh, I bet. I like that video on that flashlight.
Oh,
police light. Boy, it lit it right up, man. I'm gonna have to look into that.
It's a nice little. I showed y'all last time, I think, but but I caught your video as I hadn't used it yet. Yeah, it's just a little quick video. I put up the other day. I put it on Instagram and put it on YouTube.
I think I saw it on Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was it's a nice little flashlight, a bright little pin light. It's not big.
I like the room you lit up too. It was cool. The way it was completely dark, and then boom, all those barrels were cool.
No, I thought it would look cool, but I mean, I was at the distillery again, so I I snuck into a barrel room.
It was nice.
I was trying to find dark places.
Sure.
For what?
Absolutely.
First
To
flashlight.
demonstrate the flashlight.
Oh,
To show my
okay.
flashlight. Show off my
Okay,
flashlight.
sure you were.
She's surfing the internet there. She's not paying attention. We're going to throw you off the show if you don't start paying attention.
Really?
Yep.
Your viewings will go down.
Yeah, don't forget to smack that like
You
button out there,
You can't
people.
afford to lose me.
Oh, okay.
She is important to the show.
I never said she wasn't, but you know.
Well, she's the glue holding it all together.
Yeah, because I wouldn't be doing it still. I was going to quit. I was like, eh. And she's like, well, we got to do that. We got to do this. Well, how about we do this? And, you know, I just kept going. But I got a little excited later as we got closer to it tonight because I was kind of like, this morning I didn't want to. But I was like, let's. James quit bothering me about that. I ain't getting the poke. I've already had it. And I don't wash my hands hardly ever anymore. And I still haven't gotten it again. So I ain't worried about it. I ain't getting the poke. So
That's the whole reason we went back to Vegas is because we both had it. We were like, well,
yeah.
now's the better time than ever.
As well now.
Yeah.
And with all her medical crap, and she probably had it like a year when it first came out and nobody knew about it, because otherwise she should have died when she got it, but she didn't. Even when the second time, if it was the second or maybe it was the first, she didn't have hardly any symptoms at all. So
I heard a lot of friends of mine and people that I've heard say that just before all this happened, they got real sick and nobody could really tell them what it was. And
yep, that's what they had the year before.
Yeah, we had it in December of 19. Yeah.
Well, do you guys remember right before it happened, it was a big thing. It was on the national news that all these people were dying from vaping.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the vaping.
Yeah, it was vaping's fault.
And you remember when
Yeah, it
Chris
was
got
the
all
vaping.
sick and stuff when he went to that show down in Atlanta or whatever it was, the convention show or whatever it was.
Yeah.
When he came back, he had this weird cough and all that crap. So I bet you he had it then too. So I don't know.
Hopefully we're all on our way out of that whole mess.
Hopefully, we'll see. I mean, around our area, it's not a big deal. I mean, I sometimes forget that there's even any of that crap going on. Thank God we're not as bad as some of these states, but you know, it's.
I guess India is having a hard time right now.
I think
India.
Oh,
they're trying to send a lot more vaccines across country to the countries that need them more than we do. I mean, we're not. Even California's opened up some, and they've been the most locked down state, I think. But everything's basically back to normal around here.
Yeah.
And hell, we just had the Kentucky Derby, and if you looked at the infield pictures and shit, it was like, yeah, like like nobody had mask on and everything else, and they were all real close. And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
But
Your
in
people
Trump
are like
country
my
now, too.
people.
Not to get all political, but I live in Trump country.
Same here. It's all good. We're independent thinkers, so it is what it is.
Some of us more than others.
Yeah. You do what you like, and you just keep it to yourself. You know, that's the way I look at it. Don't bother me, and I'll do my thing, and you do your thing. But once you want to start bothering me on my thing, that's when we got a problem. So it's like, as long as you don't affect my rights or my problems.
I'm just trying to get my money.
Yep, just leave me
That's
alone,
it, bro.
Yeah.
I leave people the hell alone.
Yep, I don't care what you want to do. It's fine. Just don't bother me with what I want to do. That's how the rights and stuff is supposed to be. As long as your rights don't infringe on mine.
Leave me alone.
Yep. I would be happy with that. So yeah. What else we got going on? Yeah. I did get a bag in the mail. I got my free bag from Vito.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys want to see his bag?
Yeah, here's my
Call
bag.
Vito. I would love to see that bag.
It's right here. It's got a cool little hanging device on it. So
Which one is that, Rick?
this is the MB3.
Free.
So, but
Nice.
yeah, the cool thing on it's got that back pocket that allows you to put your probes and stuff in there. So it's got quite a bit of room there, and it's got like 2 pockets inside of that. So it's kind of cool, and its Velcro is pretty tough. I noticed there's 2 spots hidden up here in the top that you could actually stick something right here and here. It's got the handle thing there, and it's got the 2 things on the side. So if you wanted to do around your neck, or around half your back, or whatever, you could do a crisscross, kind of like a crossing guard thing if you hooked here and here. The outside's pretty much like all their TP4s and all that, with the big pocket out here on the side and there. And then
that's how I have my MB2 is crossed from top corner to bottom corner.
It's identical for that part.
Across my back.
I thought about buying some of their bags that have this cool plastic stuff to it, because I kind of like that. You kind of can see what's in there a little bit better. So that's kind of neat
clear,
thing there.
Clear mesh.
Yeah, and it only goes down that far, so you're not like it's not worthless. And then you got this one here. It's pretty deep. You got the one here that's got your usual little bit pockets, and then in the middle here, which I don't even know why I almost don't even want to share nothing, because they didn't even return my things, but I've got to try to get my whatever you want to call it, my other account working so I can get a hold of them. They put like a spandex pocket on the back of it, which is kind of new. It's almost like a little computer, like a little laptop bag, It kind of got that
neoprene.
Yeah, and it kind of like it's not quite down to the bottom, so it kind of would, if you had like a little iPad or a little mini or something, it kind of feels like it might give you a little shock absorber.
Scratch it up.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And so you
I
got
bought
that
my
one
Vito before the promotion, like an idiot.
I don't know how much
So
this stupid thing is.
Full price for the bag with no extra bag.
Yeah,
Story of my life.
You got a little poke.
I had to have it though.
But mine's the same thing, and I paid almost as much as you did. Mine was $279, and I think yours is $319.
Yeah.
But you got a bigger one.
The one with wheels on it. I looked at that one the other day.
That one's dumb price.
I mean, but honestly,
I want that.
Well, it looks really cool, but what I saw, and I haven't seen him in here tonight, but Tito Vlogs had something up that maybe there was interchangeable slides for the pockets inside. So
mine's got that.
So you could have you could have one set up for
pack.
service and one set up for something different.
Even my
V-swap.
backpack, I could rip out the centerpiece that holds all the pockets. You could rip that out. It's all Velcroed in. I've never pulled it out because I'm lazy that way, I suppose. But yeah, it pulls out and you can Velcro. You could buy a separate one that has like a big neoprene pocket for an iPad or whatever, if you're a laptop or something like that.
That looked pretty cool. I mean, how big is that 3 as far as putting it on your back and crawling up a tight?
You can't go up a hatch with a cage around it. I got to pull a rope out and pull it up.
Now, I was able to take mine and put it over just the one arm, and then I could put it beside me, and then I could go up the ladder. But otherwise, there ain't no. Even with my little MC version of that one, I still couldn't squeeze up the ladder very good.
I could, but I'm not that strong. That bag I got now is weighed 42 pounds.
Yeah, mine's only 30, and I think that kind of sucks.
Trying to hang on to the ladder, and I'd rather just rope it up and get it up there. But I like that wheeler. You could just wheel it right along. It saved my shoulder and my back.
That's why, honestly, I used to carry everything in a big Vito pack, and then I dumbed down. I went to the MB2, and I carry only what I need, the necessities to figure out what is wrong with this thing.
Well, I've dedicated my big backpack just for compressors and heat exchangers and blower replacements and hanging heaters. That's what I do a lot of when we're doing replacement and repair work. So that's when I pull that thing out. I've got the MC bag, which is, it's not real big.
I like the MC bag.
I do too. I keep my testo probes in there and a meter and, just some basic screwdrivers and wrenches, things like that, for doing, service calls.
Yeah, because I had the LC before, Tech LC, and that was when I first came to this company. I started, because I was doing a lot more commercial, I think it was when I went to make a turn while stepping down on the ladder, and that was when my back did something weird. And I'm like, it's got to be the bag. It's too heavy, and I'm twisting with that weight on top of my, and I'm like, that's when I switched to the MC. Well, actually, I went to the TP3, and then I went to the MC, and the MC was big enough, and that was great. And then they came out with all the other versions of it. So, yeah, I still like use it for something.
I forget what the original Vito I have is, but I could literally put everything in there, and I had everything in there, and I would carry it up every time. And I got to the point where I was like, this is ridiculous. I don't need to carry every pipe wrench I have up on the roof and every
pipe wrenches. Man, that's a lot of work.
I never have to make a trip back down because I had everything in that bag.
Yeah, I learned real quick not to take the backpack on service calls.
Yeah,
I'm taking mine everywhere right now, though.
Needed.
People are tripping over it. I'm putting it in there while I'm working on the ice cream machine. I even put it where like the wall came out a little bit, and one girl tripped over it, and then I sprayed it, and I got it wet with water, which pissed me off because it got in there with the tools. So I had to pull everything out, dry it all out, because otherwise they're gonna rust. And it's like, I forgot it was.
That's a good way to keep the customer away from you.
Yeah, well, that was like on the one video I did. He was like nonstop with me, and finally he's like, we got talking about it. He goes, "Oh, I don't care. Go ahead." And I'm like, "All right, cool." So, but it was like, after, it's kind of like always covertly doing it, whatever. So, but, he's like, "I thought you just had to document it." I'm like, "Well, I like document it, but I said, we can't find nobody, and it's good for training and stuff." He's like, "Oh, I get it. I'm like, "How long you been here?" It's like 33 years. I said, "So you don't even know what you're doing yet, huh?" He started chuckling. We just, once again, got the flow going, customer skills, and it went great. So
I got a lot of managers of the retail stores that we go to. It's like, they know me. I walk right in. How's everything going? Blah, blah, blah. Kind of friendly,
they got my cell phone number. I've got theirs. That way I can find them. Because especially when I go to schools, I mean, I don't want to have to go to the office and log in and all that crap. If I can go straight to the back doors and get in, I prefer that. Or some of the factories and stuff. Because, I mean, otherwise trying to find them or get them to radio them, and a lot of them don't have radios, so it's like trying to get a hold of them. And I don't want to go through all that extra garbage if I don't have to. I'd rather just go right back to where I need to go and get right to it and get up on the roof or wherever it is I'm going.
Well, and then sometimes it's hard. I mean, some places we go, you just have to wait. You're going to go to the front and wait for this person to come.
Yeah, we've got places like that, but I mean, a lot of them I don't have to.
I know, I understood. In general, I'd like to have their numbers too, and I do. But it's all about knowing. Again, I've said it in a few previous videos. It's all about knowing your customer. Mm-hmm. You have customers that want to see you, want to shake your hand, want to say hi, want to chit chat and talk about everything for a little bit and tell you what's going on and all this stuff. And you have customers that don't want to see you, just want you to come in and fix it. And they don't want to hear about it. They don't care what you did or how you did it or anything else. They just is it fixed? Yes. Okay, cool. And then you have customers that want to hear exactly what you did. Are you interested in what I did? I'd be happy to share with you exactly what I did. And you have to differentiate those customers because it's always different. Everybody's a little bit different in what they want to hear and what they don't want to hear. And
we've got accounts where you're not permitted to tell the manager anything.
If
not
you're
what
working,
it cost, what was wrong, nothing.
Then
those are usually the ones that are asking, what was wrong? How much does it cost? How do you tell them? I'll say,
I don't do pricing. I don't do the pricing. I have no idea.
We do places like that too. I mean, if the person living there doesn't own the property or something like that is when it comes into play. And it's like, don't tell them. They don't need to know what's happening. And that does become a little bit.
That's usually when I say, it's going to need a little work. We're going to work up a quote and send
or you can dumb it down. There's a few things that ain't quite right, but no big deal. We're going to get you going here in a little bit. You give them that assurance, boom, on you go. You act like it ain't no big deal, and then they're like, oh, okay, and off they go.
Nothing major. We gonna fix this. Just like I said earlier, just make them feel comfortable. We got this.
Absolutely.
Even if you don't know what's happening, we got this. Calm down. I got this.
Yep. You'll have heat before I leave or cooling, whatever it is you need.
It takes a certain amount of confidence to go in and tell a business owner that, hey, we got this. I'm going to fix this. And you don't have a clue what's happening.
Yep.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I mean, It's all about dumbing it down to a simple thing, you know, this thing here, and here's what it does, but you know, that's why it stopped, but you know, it's taken care of now. So yeah, it's.
Well, and that's the beauty of some of our customers is, you know, some of them are mechanically minded and maintenance guys who really understand what's happening. And sometimes they want to know, and you can explain in detail. And it's like,
If they ask, I'll blow them away.
Yeah, no doubt, but you're helping teach them too, so they know. And
especially if they're owners, absolutely. Train them on what they need to do to prevent that call in the future. Because if it's something stupid they can prevent, yeah, absolutely. Here's what you need to do, and here's why.
Guys will if they know, and if you'll share it with them and just say, look, just next time, let's do this first, or you know, let's do this in between our PM visits or whatever, and let's see what happens then.
Yeah.
Are you guys familiar with light stats? I'm sure you are.
Ones that shut down when the light goes dark.
Yeah, when the lights come on, it
VinStar
goes into occupied.
We have VinStars that have that option.
Well, I have a particular store that when they remodeled or whatever, that light stats on the wall, they set up a shelf right in front of it. You know, it's like sticking halfway out. So the manager has a small light that they go in every morning and click on to bring the light stat on. I thought that was kind of funny. Mechanical ingenuity on that manager's part. I was kind of laughed about it. I said, there you go. That's how you make it work.
Hey, but somebody explained it to him and told him how it worked, and he could make it happen without having to spend $1,000 for somebody to come out and move a thermostat or whatever.
Sure. Yep.
No, we deal with that all the time.
Had a question down there on the bottom. How do you deal with coworkers that don't want to learn Alaska? Dude, you can't lead the horse to water type. You can lead them to water, but you know, if they don't want to drink, I mean, it's one of them things you can try to inspire them a little bit, but I mean, you might be just wasting your time. Some people just don't care.
Eventually, it's going to come back to them on their own. I don't think you have to deal with them at all. If you're getting callbacks on somebody, you know, you can't cover for everybody all the time. I never throw anybody under the bus. I usually say, you know, this is what I found, but this is the type of trade you have to learn.
You have to kind of beat around the bush sometimes. I don't try to throw guys under the bus because it makes your company look bad.
I'm not done.
Me either, man.
But it's one of those things where I call the guy. If I find something like that, I call that guy before I call anybody else, before I write anything up, before anything happens. As soon as I see that, I call that guy and say, hey, what?
This is what
this is what I'm looking. This is what I'm looking at. What happened? And it may not be their fault. You know, it may have been, well, you know, I told them that the customer didn't want to do anything with it. He didn't listen to me. And all right, well, there ain't nothing you can do about it. Yeah. But, you know, I mean, we got to hold each other responsible for what we're doing. But also, I mean, we got to try to be as good as we can be at what we do.
Sure. It's always worth learning something.
Yeah, anything. No, I mean, if I miss something, I want to know. Like, I want you to call me and tell me, hey, you're an idiot. What did you do? Because I want to know. Like,
absolutely.
I need to know that so I don't do it again.
Yeah. Well, and there was one person I worked with that had a reputation for frying you. And so I went out on one. He'd just, done some work and stuff. And I called him and said, hey, here's what I'm finding. It's froze up. I know you didn't necessarily do that. What did you run into? And I kind of thrown it out there so that, hey, I'm, let's get a plan together here. I'm not going to purposely poke you.
What's happening. Sometimes you gotta confer with each other.
Yeah. Just remember this, I'm trying to help you out. You help me out too. So, as soon as you start making enemies, things go downhill real quick.
Yeah, no, I try to keep in touch with all the guys. Like I said, we got a good group of guys, and we all like each other. We're all, cordial and talk to each other, and we're off doing our own thing, so we don't get to work with each other a whole lot. But we all the good thing is we communicate well, and I'll call the other guys, they'll call me, we'll call everybody. Everybody kind of knows what's going on. So if there's an issue with something random out there, that everybody's kind of got an idea that, okay, that's out there and it could be an issue or whatever. I mean,
Being off
we got
quiet
to,
over there.
communication goes a long way.
Absolutely. Yeah, I
Yep.
try to get along with most all of them. I have no enemies as far as I know. So I got one guy that I'm going to show that one place to. He has interest in learning the ice cream stuff and learning some more refrigeration things. So being he's interested in it, I'm like, heck yeah, dude, if you're willing to put some effort into it, I'll help you however I can. So, he's
Have you
watched some of
guys,
these videos.
Have you guys picked up any new guys? I know you were talking about that before.
No,
No.
nothing that I know of. We got a new dispatcher and that's about it. So he's working with the current one to kind of learn things, and she'll still be doing the ordering and things like that, and she's still overseeing things. But no, as far as I know, we haven't had any bites or anything yet. I mean, it's like when I was working on that one, that guy was even like, yeah, my boy's working here and he's in high school, and he's that one factory I worked in, and he's running the forklift, and they're paying him $18 an hour just to run a forklift, and he's a kid in high school. I couldn't imagine making that in high school. But,
Me either.
yeah.
Me
And all
either.
the overtime they want. It's like, wow. But it's just stupid. Until they get rid of some of this incentive to sit on your butt, no one's going to come back to work because they're making more money or the same as by sitting at home.
I couldn't do it. I'd lose my mind sitting
Yeah.
around.
I spent like 3-4 days here and I felt so worthless. I hate that. I don't like it. That's why I don't even like going on vacation sometimes. I feel like people look at you like, why is he not at work? I mean, granted, I sure
struggle with vacation too.
Yeah, it's like I feel like a loser or something. I like no, I want to I know you got to like block it out, but still, it's kind of like whatever.
I do all right. I like just coming back sucks. Like I'd just rather keep going. Like take a day or two here or there, take a long weekend with a Friday or something, then just take a week straight because I got so much to do when my list keeps getting longer as that week goes. It's like other things that I got to come back and still take care of. So,
well, I'll be down in Tucky next in June. June, I'll be down there. Where's it? Where am I going?
Lynch, Kentucky.
Yeah, Lynch.
Lynch?
So yeah, we're gonna do it's a church project that we're going to be rebuilding whatever it is they need to do. I don't know what all I'm going to do. I don't know if it's going to be anything related to what we do. It's basically I have abilities, so I'm offering them. So we're leaving Sunday evening, and I'll be there until Friday. So that's
nice. Where I'm not sure even where Lynch, Kentucky.
I think it's on the east side, possibly.
On the east side.
Yeah, okay. I think it's that we're going to be staying in this like hotel thing that it's kind of historical or something.
You're gonna be towards the mountains.
Yeah, it's called an Appalachian outreach or whatever. So
it's in Harlan County, Kentucky,
which is about where we go riding
Harlan
at.
County.
Yeah, population 747.
Harlan County is a small little county. That's how we differentiate people around here in Kentucky. Everybody knows their county.
So named for Thomas Lynch, the head of the U.S. Coal and Coke Company.
Yeah, if you ask somebody in Kentucky where they're from, they're liable to tell you what county they're from, not necessarily what state they're from.
Yeah, it's I don't know what we're going to do yet. I know we've got quite a few guys at our church that are construction guys, so they're going. We got a lot of older people that are kind of going, and so I'm not sure. I've never went on a mission trip before, but that's what we're doing. I know the youth group's going to be going.
You gonna be able to take some video or no?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know if it'll be anything particular. Actually, one of the guys I used to work with long ago, who also teaches at the college here in town that I went to, he's going too. So I don't know if they're going to let them know we could do some HVAC stuff. I don't know, because we're going through an outside company that's kind of setting it up. So we kind of like are using them probably for any insurance type stuff, but I don't know how that would work. Because obviously I'm not.
Regardless of the HVAC or not, I think it would be interesting to see, you just going down there and helping out and talking to different people and saying, hey, what's up, man? What are you doing here? Let's talk.
Yeah, I mean, and that's I think it's going to be kind of fun. I'm hoping that it is a good experience. I've never done one, so I'm hoping it's going to be good. I think it will be.
I can only imagine it's going to be a great great experience.
Hell yeah.
Solomon's Porch, is that where we're staying at?
Mm-hmm.
So it's called a retreat center, but it's,
It used to be the hospital there.
Yeah.
Back in the day,
I mean,
apparently.
it's looking at it from right here, they got window air conditioners. So, I mean, it ain't no luxurious thing, but that ain't why we're going there. So it's kind of like, it's basically an area that's kind of depressed and needs help. And
If it was luxurious, you wouldn't be going there.
Exactly. Well, I mean, where we're going and staying, I think is different than where our projects are going to be at. Because I know the last time they went that vicinity or somewhere down there, they helped ladies that needed porches rebuilt. They did roofing. They did all kinds of stuff. So, I mean,
there's small towns all of course all over y'all states too, but all over Kentucky that are just these little small towns that need help and
decimated from the coal industry going down and everything else.
The same way all over the country. It's not just here or there.
Sure.
It's everywhere.
I'd love to take my razor down there, but I know just won't be probably a lot of time. So it's like, I don't know how far away the trails would be for Hatfield and McCoy, and I know there's some other ones down there. I love riding down that way. I was hoping to do it sometime this year, and I know Dad wants to go riding down in Gatlinburg or something too. So I'm not sure, and I think we're going to go around the Great Lakes too. Not sure. A lot of high hopes, but we ain't planning nothing. I'm like, well, as soon as I know the weather's going to be decent, I said that's when I want to plan it. I probably should be planning this out a little ahead of time. But yeah, that's going to be in June. Let me see here.
You leave on Father's Day.
Yeah, leaving on Father's Day of all times. Yeah, and I'm on call Sunday.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, so.
See, it's all the way here on the east side.
Yeah, it's all the way to the east side. So it's right beside West Virginia and Virginia. So yeah, it's almost on the border. Yep. So it's quite a ways. Yeah, that's why it sounds familiar, because it's and then there's some trees there, so it must be close to where we've ridden at before. Because I've ridden in Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, Indiana, Michigan, and I think those are the main places I've rode at. But the best are down south. That's the best. West Virginia is probably the best of all of them. But yeah, but that'll be an interesting trip and stuff. So I'm hoping. I'm going to take a bunch of stuff, tools-wise, and just hopefully we'll do something to, But yeah, I'll get some video on that and stuff, because, I mean, that Sunday night definitely won't be able to do nothing. So, because we're leaving.
It'd be cool. It'd be cool to see some of that stuff.
Absolutely.
Doing some good. I mean, not out there for anything, but helping somebody else out.
Yeah, because I'm using my vacation time and everything just to try to, I got 3 weeks, it's a week. That's
awesome.
Yep. Well, I've been pretty blessed with what all I've got. I mean, I can see the returns on my things I do. So I mean, I'm hoping that I can help somebody. So we'll see.
Hell yeah.
What else do we got going on? So we've got 36 people out there. If you guys make sure you smack the thumb button there, if you would. We're at 1 hour and 15 there. Chat looks like it's kind of stopped for a while. It hasn't moved much. Mm-hmm. Maybe they're getting tired. I think they might be getting tired on us.
Ted asked if they were alive earlier. I saw that go through.
Yeah, they were zoom-a-dooming there for a while, and then they kind of like, blink. Yeah, they're getting tired on us or something. Mm-hmm. Oh, well.
I'm getting tired.
Yeah. Laura's got a cool ending thing there, all programmed. It should work. That it's a new drop and stuff, so we can always try that out too. You guys about ready to wrap it up then?
Yeah, buddy.
Might as well. If everyone else is kind of bouncing out, we'll just go ahead and wrap this turd up. So, Laura, you want to go ahead and give it the old flusheroo?
Mm-hmm.
Take it easy, everybody.
Yep. It'll be good.
Thanks for coming in, guys. Don't forget to smack that like button. Till next time. Later.
Bye, y'all.
Okay, thank you all for coming. There's coffee and brownies out front.
And now, get out. Get out. Get out. Get out.
Okay, people, move along. There's nothing to see here.
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.
Thank you very much for joining us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.
You're still here?
Maybe do it again sometime.
It's over.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our show.
Go home.
And now,
the show's over.
The party's over.
Will you leave immediately, please?
I want to see motion, movement. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Get the point? Good.
Now get